Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Why the Hell Not podcast. I'm Vlad Lux. I have L3X with me. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing well. So, better than the past couple of days with this beautiful weather, right?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I hate the rain, so I'm kind of glad that there's sunshine because I'm like sugar. I melt in the rain. So, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people in California, they love the rain because they don't have to deal with it a lot. They have like this romantic thing with the rain.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that rain makes you sad. I mean, Seattle has like the number one suicide rate
Or depression rate. Yeah.
depression
And it's always
rate.
raining.
Yeah, so I love the sunshine, and I'm happy it's here. But
I mean, I don't know why Californians would like the rain considering we don't know how to drive in the rain. But
maybe
I mean,
because snowboarding. I don't know.
Yes.
That's the one good thing.
True.
Is like
You're
if
right.
it's raining here and it's cold, I'm like, I hope it's snowing in the mountains.
You are correct.
So Lex, you are a DJ for Vigorous Events. You're kind of their go-to guy when it comes to playing their shows. What has been your favorite show with them, and kind of talk about your experience with meeting Vigorous Events.
Well, I actually met. Well, I was there when Vigorous Events first started with Andrew. It was back in 2015, I think it was. He booked me to play at Sutra. One of his buddies, his friend, his name is Anthony. He's in my frat, and he told Andrew, like, hey, this guy DJs our frat parties. He can bring out a lot of people, give him a shot. So Andrew hit me up. He's like, hey, do you want to play? Gave him some information, and so he booked me on the side room, and that's where I got started with him. I kid you not, he laughs when I tell this story because he gave me the 9 to 10 slot. He's like, you're a new DJ. I've never heard you. You're going to open. I'm just glad I get to finally play at a club. Cool. I brought 60 people before I even started. He was already like, so when do you want to play again?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you haven't even heard me. What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, I know, but you have 60 people outside. When do you want to play again? So
yeah, it's kind of, I understand it's the live event industry, and it's just kind of the way it is because you got to make money and ticket sales are important, but it kind of does suck when ticket sales are more important than talent. I'm not
Oh,
saying
no, yeah,
that's
no.
you. I'm just saying that, before you even started playing, they asked you to play again. And of course, why wouldn't they when you
Yeah.
have 60 people? But it just sucks that it's kind of the nature of that.
Yeah. And I've been at a club recently. I won't say what club, but this person played before me. I took over, and the stage manager said, his song ends at 128 BPM. Don't look at the CDJ. He's playing a pre-recorded set. And I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't know you could do that here. So as long as you got the money or you can bring out the people, that's here in OC and like in Vegas. That's what, I feel like clubs really care about. So it kind of sucks. But that's how I got started with Vigorous. My favorite event with them has to be Exchange or the Why the Hell Not Festival. I forgot about that, like, up until now, because I got to play a set that I curated myself and got to, bang out without people having to tell me, you can't play this kind of music. You're not the headliner. You need to bring it down.
There's so many limits when you're not the headliner.
Yeah.
At clubs, like, you don't want to play harder than this happens a lot in the bass scene. You don't want to make the crowd go harder than the headliner. You don't want to outshow them. So
Yeah.
why the hell not? Shout out. This is that podcast. This
Hey,
is
there we go.
the
Yeah.
festival. I mean, that's why I started Glitch Syndicate. Was because I still am a DJ, and I would, get into these collectives. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's, DJ event companies that kind of form a collection of DJs, turn them into promoters, and just all they care about is you grinding to sell tickets for them. And
I think I know exactly what company you're talking about.
The kind of art goes away at that point, and it's the art of DJing. Like you said, pre-recorded sets are allowed in clubs because it's all about ticket sales. It's not really about trying to, maybe this DJ is going to, scroll through SoundCloud or Beatport and find some song that no one's really heard or they haven't played it in this area, and they really curate like a good set or play what you want to play.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked to create my stage as Glitch Syndicate for Why the Hell Not Festival. And that's my. I mean, when I threw events as Glitch Syndicate, I would have no expectations for the artists to sell tickets. I would like them to, maybe post the flyer and tell people.
Right.
But no ticket. You have to hit 25 tickets, and then you'll get this slot.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like that. And if I respected your production, I respected you as an artist, then I'm going to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the way that I ran it. And I mean, granted, the other methods of that event companies use is the reason why they can continually do events. Because I have to take my time with my events, because it is, it's hard to start an event company, and that model of getting a collective of DJs, making them sell tickets, is how event companies can push through that first starting phase of being a starting event company.
Yeah.
And make it. It's a great model to do that. So, talking about your DJ career, when did you start DJing, and what got you into the electronic scene?
That's kind of funny. So I started DJing back in 2012. I was at a frat party, and I've always been interested in DJs. Like, even as a kid, my family would hire DJs for parties, and I would just stand behind them and see what they were doing. But my frat bro got drunk. He was a DJ for the party, and he's like, dude, you need to help me, because I was standing behind him. He's like, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. So really quickly, he's like, look, this is how you beat match. Have fun. Go at it. And he left, and I'm like...
Wait, so he was too fucked up to do that, but he was able to explain to you how the DJ board works?
It was literally like, look, you have this song, just do, like, just
Tap
do...
to it,
yeah, just do this,
play.
and then hit play. And I'm like... okay, it's probably gonna sound like shit, but at this point, it was his house, so he didn't care, and everyone was already drunk, so everyone was just like going ham for it. Like, all they wanted was music, so they didn't care. And I'm like, wow, this is actually fun. So then I bought like a cheap controller online for like $100. It was like a Newmark controller, and I started off that, and then I started doing frat parties, and then from there started, I bought a Tractor controller, and got really comfortable with Tractor. And then that's when I met Andrew back in 2015. Afterwards, did Sutra, and then he started booking me like at Sharky's. Learned how to do CDJs when he booked me at Time. Literally went to Guitar Center because I couldn't afford CDJs. Brought a USB and looked at YouTube videos. Went to Guitar Center and tried to implement what I learned.
So I know that I don't know if this is announced yet, but you're playing the New Year's show for Vigorous. And you're doing the countdown, correct?
So I didn't know about the countdown. I mean, I knew. I didn't know if that was for sure.
That's just what I've heard, and I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, so I'm okay to say that.
Okay.
But I didn't know that you didn't
Well,
know,
there you
so
go. This is a podcast exclusive.
Yeah, so how do you feel about that?
Honestly, it's exciting. I'm kind of nervous because, especially with it being New Year's Eve and it being the countdown, if I mess up, that's how I'm starting off the new year, and I know all of my friends are going to be there and going to be like, bro, how do you mess up the countdown? Like, that's the one thing everyone looks forward to that night. But I'm excited. It should be fun.
I feel like for me, I get nervous before a show, but then the second I start, I put my USB in CDJs, and the songs aren't corrupted, record box is working.
Yeah.
Second I hit play and I'm queuing up my second track, everything just goes back to exactly where I want it to be, and all the nerves are gone, and I'm in my zone. But until I get my hands on that mixer, I'm so nervous. But then again, it just all melts away.
Oh no! I mean, I'm the same way. Just because like I have 3 USBs because I'm always paranoid that for some reason the first 2 are not gonna work. There are some times where like I'm even like contemplating on whether I want to bring my laptop just in case something happens. But I'm the same way too. Once I start playing a track or 2 and I get into the groove, everything just goes away, and then I just start vibing and enjoying myself.
Mm-hmm. So 2020 is just around the corner. What are your goals and plans for 2020?
A main goal of mine is to play in Vegas again. I played at Tao last year for the first time, and now I want to play at Marquee. I heard someone has a connection there. And since I was able to do direct support at Time for Vice, apparently Live Nation recorded the set, And they said I did good enough to be able to play again. Looking to be able to play the main stage of Exchange and Academy, or at least start working my way up towards there. And that's one of the reasons why I started learning how to produce music, because I know just being a regular DJ, you're not gonna really get those big time slots or like those big time gigs. You need to have a following, make your own music, have your sound. That way, you can start making yourself unique and get booked in those kind of places. Because right now I do a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. You're what I would call kind of like an old format DJ, where you're doing mashups and edits, and creating that unique mix. But in this, I guess like the past 15 years of DJing, maybe 20, people have been artists and producers as
Right.
well as being the DJ. And it's kind of the new norm. And like we said with pre-recorded sets, I mean, there's a lot of huge DJs that make or get ghost produced, but
Right.
have their own content, and it's pre-recorded, but at that same time, it's still at least their original content, so
Right.
they get booked. And curating that brand is so important to move up. You can only go so far as just a DJ.
Right.
Speaking of music and in electronic, what genre are you moving towards in your production, and where do you see yourself in the scape of it?
Well, right now, just to learn what I need to learn how to make a track, I want to do trap music, because that's been my favorite genre for a while. And I figured, why not do the music that I enjoy doing, learn the layers that go into making that style of music, because then everything else, for the most part, should be somewhat similar. And then if I want to, start making my own unique sound or get into a different genre, I will have that experience with what I learned with trap, and then move on elsewhere. Because I know like a lot of DJs will start off like Tiesto and Armin will start off with trance, but now they're out making progressive and big room or even like house music.
Yeah, I mean, and a little bit of that is maybe chasing trends,
Right.
but they definitely, no disrespect towards them, they are massive. They've made amazing tracks.
Oh yeah.
And they definitely had a firm genre at the start. But you are right, they have branched out into different tracks. Also, depending on who they collab with.
True.
Can change that, but people develop their people change their sound over time. It's kind of just the progression of an artist, and people naturally go through. I mean, I know myself, I listen to many different genres.
Yeah.
And I go through phases of the what genre I'm listening to the most.
Right.
And so there's nothing wrong with that. And I think trap was huge in like 2012 through like 2015, and it kind of ducked down. I mean, there's still amazing trap artists playing huge festivals, doing big. So I'm not saying that it's gone, but I think that up and coming producers, there's less up and coming trap producers nowadays, or maybe I don't see it as much. But I feel that it's good to make something that you want and not ride trends, because
Right.
most people nowadays, when they're about to start producing, it's probably like tech house or
Yeah.
rhythm or something like that. So that's good that you're making something that you want to make.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I enjoy, and I do agree. A lot of people follow the trends, and that's not what I want to do. Because if you do that, you're gonna fall in. The market's saturated already. You're just gonna be noise. You're not gonna stick out doing what everyone else is doing. And you're right, everything is tech house right now because of Fisher and Chris Lake. But personally, I think that EDM music is a wave. Like I think house music was popular back in the days, and now it's starting to come back. And that's just, to me, that's my opinion on how EDM is. It cycles through. So I know eventually trap will come back. For me, anyways, I think that.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely think EDM, more so than other main genres like rock and reggae, definitely follows a wave. They kind of like battle, because a couple years back, you saw a lot of electronic music making it to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You had like Clarity with Zed. You had Dioro with Pitbull and Chris Brown,
Right.
and there was that kind of
A
that
lot of
wave,
David
and then
Guetta.
and now it's back to just hip hop, and you know there's still of course like Billie Eilish has like some electronic influences for sure, but it's definitely they definitely come in waves. Trap will definitely be back. I think that people have told me, and I kind of hope it's true, but that trap is kind of going to be replacing rhythm more so. That's what I've heard. You know, there's
Yeah.
those memes where it's like at least the Twitter memes. There's like 2019 rhythm producer, and then it like shows their bio, and then it's like trap. they all turn to trap or whatever. But
You know, it's funny you say that because I used to not listen to EDM music at all, even up until I started DJing. I remember driving home because I went to Cal State Fullerton, going home from Cal State Fullerton back to Fontana, and I heard Animals on the radio. It was like DJ Drew was playing it like at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, why is this song on the radio? Like, there's no lyrics. It sounds like robot music. Like why are they playing this right now? And that was literally like my mentality. And then I went to Beyond Wonderland back in 2013, and my viewpoints just changed. I was like, yo, where has this music been my entire life?
yeah, I mean, a lot of people get that change by going to a music festival, like their friend drags them in, and
Yeah.
then, I mean, a music festival or a rave, whatever you want to call it, it's such a different experience than going to clubs. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's such a it's an amazing time, and it changes a lot of people's perception and perspective on electronic music. Um, let's talk about you. So, do you have any other hobbies besides DJing and production?
Oh, man. Just working out, trying to, but honestly, if you want to make it as a producer, you need to focus and spend a lot of time on it. So a lot of my other hobbies kind of got put on hold because I'll spend. I have like courses online that I take, and then I watch like one of my biggest inspirations has been Laidback Luke because he'll post production tips on his YouTube
He does a
channel.
little like master classes or not master classes, but you know he'll do events at like convention centers
Yeah.
and tips and hold forums to help people get better at DJing and production.
Yeah, so I watched that. Red Bull Radio just started posting videos up too, where like Chris Lake remixed a song, and so did Murder Beats and like T-Pain. So those have been helpful as well too.
Yeah, to talk about like DJing as a full-time job, it's so true. And one thing that I struggle with sometimes is how many things I do all the time. You know, trying to find you have to put in hours to make it with something. You can't just do something half-assed.
Right.
So I envy people that minimalize their hobbies and can really dive into that because it increases their chance for success. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, I used to enjoy like playing tennis and like hanging out with friends. I'll go out every once in a while too, because especially when I DJ. But everyone that I've seen on YouTube, it's like if you wanna succeed, you got to put your time into it. So that's what I've been focusing on right now.
Mm-hmm. If you could collab with one artist, who would it be?
Oh wow. Like any artist?
Yeah.
Honestly, probably Laidback Luke.
Really?
Yeah.
Because is he a trap guy? I thought he was a house guy.
No, he's like, he does a little bit of everything, to be honest. I really, really look up to him just because when you see him playing at festivals, even like sometimes when I'm playing a big gig, I will plan out my set because I'm like, yo, I do not want to mess up. I want to make sure that this is on point. He literally, every set that he'll post online, he's just doing everything on the fly. He'll look for songs. He does this thing called like In My Mind where he's like, oh, I feel like the vibe's wrong here, so let me try to change it up. And then just his style of music it's still more like 2014, 2015-ish, and that's kind of when I started getting into TDM, so I kind of enjoy it. But he's been around for so long, and he's collab with everybody. I feel like if anyone's going to give you good tips and you can learn a lot from, it'd probably be him.
Yeah, he's definitely an OG in the industry, that's for sure. when I DJ, I don't have a track list, like a set list pre-made. It's definitely not in order. I have my playlist, so I know what,
Right.
you know, I probably have 40% more songs than I'm gonna play in that folder.
Right.
And then you just gotta know if you're gonna do that. You gotta at least listen to the song before
True.
so you know the energy level and you know what you're about to give to the crowd. Not just kind of mixing in blind. And then just knowing to that next level is knowing that key so that you're mixing in key so it doesn't sound off or
Right.
or funky. And like what Laidback Luke teaches, which is warming the crowd up to the appropriate energy, not slamming them for an hour with crazy drops. You gotta
Right.
you gotta let them relax. Maybe they can't dance constantly
Right.
as hard as they can.
They'll be done after an hour.
Yeah. So and that's kind of unfair to the not unfair to the DJ after you, but you just kind of want to make it a journey, an experience, as cliche and stupid as that sounds.
Dude, I hear that all the time. I know exactly what you mean, but it's true. I mean, even with if you pre-plan a set, you can go in saying, "Yo, this set is about to be fire. People are gonna enjoy it." But your job as a DJ too is to read the crowd. So you can't just play what you want to play. If you're playing your tracks and you see no one dancing, or if you cleared out the dance floor, you have to make sure you have your playlist ready elsewhere to mix it up. So
you have to be at that level already where you have diehard fans and they just want to hear your original tracks.
yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I mean, once you're at that level, then you can keep your eyes down. But and a lot of club DJs, they don't have that open format experience of reading the crowd. And like I come from a corporate DJ background as well, and knowing, I mean, for like corporate and stuff, it's like, oh, you got to get the old people on the dance floor before they leave, and the young people are probably going to stay.
Right.
And so you just kind of know these like tricks of like, oh, I can hold off on that request. And this is talking not about like club style. This is just talking about the art of DJing and reading that crowd. But it also, once you know that, you can apply that to the club scene,
Right,
and to the festival scene. And it just makes you just got more tools in your basket to rock the crowd.
Oh, no, for sure. I think that's why I kind of appreciated the fact that I started off mixing in bars, because if people at the bars don't like your set, they will let you know.
Yeah.
And like they'll literally walk
It's
by.
like open mic night on stand up,
Yeah.
It's like the best way to like learn new material and stuff like that.
Yeah, people walk by like, wow, this DJ sucks, like literally knowing
in
that.
your face. Yeah, so you can hear it.
Yeah, so and if you can't get drunk people to dance while you're at the bar, and then you're probably not doing your job right, and you probably shouldn't be DJing. So learning at the bars has definitely made DJing at clubs so much easier, because you don't have to worry about people coming up for requests and stuff.
So do you have any things you want to tell the listeners, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Honestly, the biggest shout out I could probably give to someone is Andrew, because he's helped me out from being a garage / frat party DJ to being able to play in bars, playing clubs, introducing me to a lot of new people and being able to expand my network, and be able to play in such different venues. Not everybody can say they played in Vegas, and so like I don't take that lightly, and he's helped me out tremendously, so I appreciate that.
And where can we find you, man? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is L3X and then 3 underscores right afterwards.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been L3X. I'm Vlad Lux. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.